It is an NFC North matchup with some playoff implications. Minnesota, Green Bay, Sunday night. We talk about it next on DJ Football. He is Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network. This is DJ Football. I'm Ryan Brown. The show presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. You get a initial sign-on deposit bonus. You make your deposit, they bonus you up to $1,000 right there at MyBookie.ag. That is free money. Play with it right away. Win once. It is yours and yours forever. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. MyBookie.ag. Code next round. DJ, what is up, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Had a great Christmas, and then after the day was over, we had a lot of leftover food. So what I did is I took a good bit of tinfoil and I put it over the food and I put it in the fridge. I actually had some leftover tinfoil. I was able to get that FedEx to you, and you were able to make it into a vest that quickly. I mean, that just shows how creative and how talented you really are.
Listen, when I'm in the space station, this thing keeps you warm. I don't have to worry about the sun's rays out there in space. It's okay.
So is that thing just like covering your mac and cheese in the fridge and you just took it off and then just throw it on and then
it's a little cool today? And my wife said, just put on some tinfoil. You'll be fine. and when I heat you up later, I'll have to take it off. Let's talk about this game, Minnesota and Green Bay. It is the Sunday night game. Minnesota, the home team. Green Bay, I mean, they need like mass chaos to get this thing into the playoffs. That loss to the Buccaneers a couple of weeks ago, that home loss was the one where you could probably see it turn for them.
Yeah, Minnesota, having lost 4 of their last 5, it was kind of a fun ride while it lasted. And it doesn't seem like it was all that long ago. We were all riding the Josh Dobbs Express. And then that came to a screeching halt. And then with Mullins last week, you got a chance to see the good and the bad. With a bunch of big plays, some explosives down the field with Justin Jefferson, and then the 4 interceptions. So a lot of mixed results there, and they still found themselves in the game late with a chance, but couldn't get it done against the Detroit Lions. And then you get the Green Bay team in terms of coming into this one, at least refound themselves a little bit with what we saw last week. It wasn't the most impressive performance, but they found a way to the winner's circle.
Yeah, they found a way. Look, they're playing the Panthers, and you probably got Bryce Young's best performance of his
not
career.
Probably. It was.
That's true. That was a bit of a low bar, though. Bryce Young gave you his best performance of his career. But with that, as you pointed out, you still get a 3-point win, 33-30. Was that a product of Bryce Young just having a good day, or is there some concern about Green Bay's defense there? Because Carolina hasn't really moved it on anybody.
Yeah, I've got major concern with Green Bay's defense. I don't know that the talent and the production is always married up there. I know Joe Barry has come under a lot of criticism from a lot of Packer fans over the years. But, I was happy for Bryce. Don't get me wrong. I was glad to see him spin the ball around a little bit. But there were voids in coverage down the field pretty consistently in that game. He was able to get after him. So that would worry me a little bit if I was a Packer fan. As you mentioned, both these teams kind of holding on for dear life in a must-win game here.
Yeah, it is absolutely a must-win. Jordan Love, if you gave him a letter grade on this season, you would give him what grade?
I'll give him a B. And the reason I'll give him a B, I know it's been a little uneven, but I think there's been a lot of good things to take from it. And I think the fact that he's playing with so many young guys, just the rookies alone. I mean, we've seen Tucker Kraft has really come on and played well. Dontavian Wicks has done a nice job for him. We know what Reed has been all year long there. And then you get kind of these second-year guys. Romeo Dobbs had a nice game last week. So he's doing this with all young players. As a quarterback, just kind of cutting your teeth in this league, to not have veterans to lean on, that's a lot on him. And so I'm going to give him a little bit of pass on some of the ups and downs, but I think they can feel comfortable knowing he's their guy going into next year.
Christian Watson only has 5 catches in the last 3 games, but before that, he was playing very, very good football against Kansas City and Detroit, to the point you're like, man, this guy, they've really got something in Christian Watson. And I still think they do, don't get me wrong, but the last couple of games,
he's young.
Yeah,
he's young. And you're just going to ride the roller coaster with young players. And that's why it's nice to have some veterans that you can kind of rely on to be kind of those steady, consistent forces. Young guys are going to go up, they're going to go down. But I think there's been enough encouragement, throwing him into the mix with the guys we already mentioned. They've got a nice nucleus. I would love, we're talking about this game specifically, but with them, I'm almost pushing the fast forward button. I don't give them much of a shot to get into the postseason. Anxious to see what veterans offensively try and sprinkle in around a really, really good core of young players.
The Vikings need help, but they got to win this one. on Sunday night to get in. We'll talk about Minnesota in 1 second. A reminder, DJ Football is presented by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. You will get a deposit bonus up to $1,000. You can use that money right away at MyBookie.ag. You win once with it. It is yours and yours forever. MyBookie.ag, code next round to get that sign-on bonus. Code next round at MyBookie.ag. Excuse me. And also Manscaped.com. Manscaped.com. I'm holding in my hand right here, the handyman. It is a compact travel razor, but it's also great at the home. But they got a ton of great products there that I use in my home at Manscaped.com. The Beard Hedger, which takes care of the facial hair. They've got the Weed Whacker, which takes care of the nose hair and the ear hair, so you don't look all unkempt. They've also got the Lawnmower. That's the full body razor, which also takes care of the undercarriage. You can cover that undercarriage with their great boxer shorts. You can protect that undercarriage and everything else in your body with the great male body products. And because you're a viewer of DJ Football, you're going to get a great discount. DJF20 gets you 20% off your initial order at manscaped.com. Code DJF20 at manscaped.com. Basically, Minnesota absolutely has to win this game. They're going to need help from either LA or Seattle. Seattle plays host to the Steelers. They are at the Cardinals in a divisional game. You look at the Rams, they play host to the Giants, and then they're at the 49ers. If you need help, those are not exactly the schedules you want to see your opposition playing, but it's where Minnesota has gotten themselves.
Yeah, I'm not super optimistic about Minnesota making their way into this tournament when it's all said and done. One thing I do know in this game coming up against the Green Bay Packers, they better find some run game. Putting all of this on the shoulders of your quarterback is going to be a tough way to go. I know last week the Packers gave up some plays. I know they have some holes on their defense, but man, you got to have some balance. They had no run game last week for the Minnesota Vikings, so they've got to find a little bit of that.
Since the Kirk Cousins injury, they've scrambled to find quarterback. As you mentioned, Josh Dobbs was a good story for a minute, but that did not hold on. Nick Mullins, I mean, the negative obviously is he threw 4 interceptions. You're going to lose almost every NFL game when you throw 4 interceptions. The positive is he still threw for 411 yards, and they still had the ball in hand with a chance to win the game.
Yeah, they were right there. They were right there at the end. One thing about him, he doesn't leave the field with any regrets. He is not afraid. He is not afraid, despite whatever physical limitations he may have. He plays aggressive, and he knows he's got players, so he's going to try and push the ball down the field. And shoot, Justin Jefferson had a big day. So he gives him a chance. He's going to have to protect the ball better. But Ryan, again, I just keep coming back to it. If they can't get some run game from somewhere, whether or not they need to include the receivers in the run game this week, try and just get some of the jet sweeps, just get out to the perimeter, make something happen, but they've got to find some balance.
Yeah, to your point, Ty Chandler, 8 carries, 17 yards, led them in rushing in a game that featured 54 points. I mean, there were points being scored. There were yards. Jahmyr Gibbs had an 80-yard game. David Montgomery had a 55-yard game for the Lions. 17 rush yards total. That was the total rush yardage for that entire team. 11 carries, 17 yards. Like, they knew they couldn't run it. They only tried it 11 times. There was not even the effort to run it.
No, they got away from it, and some of that's how the game was unfolding as well. But you look at the yards per carry, it's no bueno. So they've got to find a little bit of that. Kevin does a great job. Kevin O'Connell scheming things up in the pass game. They'll be able to uncover against this Green Bay defense. I do believe that. But man, just take a little sting off the pass rush a little bit. Just get a little bit of a run game going.
You've done a game there. That is one of my watching on TV. One of my favorite new stadiums. That looks like just
number
an
one
incredible place to watch it. Is it really?
It's number one. I believe I've been in every single one now. So
okay.
I've been in all 32. That's my favorite stadium. It's just the sight lines are incredible everywhere. It is very loud in there, but it still feels open and airy because of the glass that they have. So for an indoor stadium, you don't feel like you're indoors. Right. And it's just everything's just beautiful in there. It's not over the top. It's not too much. As much as I love the screen at SoFi, you love the screen at AT&T in Dallas. Those are cool. This is all airy and open in there. I really love the vibe in that building.
Well, it is where NBC will have their cameras Sunday night. For Green Bay paying a visit to Minnesota, Green Bay could end any Minnesota chances at the postseason, and that'll be on their minds on Sunday night. Don't forget, DJ Football is presented every single week by MyBookie.ag. Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. They will match your initial deposit up to $1,000. You could use that money right away. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Also, do not forget your code. Your code for Manscaped.com, DJF20, gets you 20% off your initial order at Manscaped.com. The same place you get this video, at Disrupt the Media on YouTube. You could get previews of a couple of other games this weekend. That AFC battle for the number 1 seed, Baltimore and Miami, we've previewed that one. And then a massive playoff implication game in the NFC, Dallas and Detroit. We've previewed that one, the same place you get this video. He's Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network, and this is DJ Football.